It is Teddy Atlas. We're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Keep watching. Otherwise,
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So it is official. The news has been buzzing for the last day or so that Manny Pacquiao shockingly extends his contract with Top Rank all the way to the end of 2016. This is a unanimous decision, guys. It's a unanimous decision letting us know whose fault this is that this fight is not taking place. I done read about probably 5 headlines about this story on different websites everywhere. And every headline starts off saying something like this: Manny Pacquiao puts the final nail in the coffin. Manny Pacquiao puts the dagger into the hopes of making a Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight. Pacquiao removed all hope or any chance of a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight taking place by extending his contract with Top Rank. Now, that's just some of the headlines. There's many more that say the exact same thing, that basically suggest that this is Manny Pacquiao's fault, that this fight is not taking place. And I'm talking about some big names, like Kevin Io from Yahoo, and many more. I'll tell you what this situation reminds me of the most. This situation reminds me of the time that Floyd Mayweather was desperately trying to make a fight with Manny Pacquiao before he had to turn himself into jail. Okay? And at that time, Manny Pacquiao and Top Rank, they were basically saying, we're building an arena out here in Vegas, and coincidentally, it won't be available till Floyd Mayweather turns himself in on June 1st, when we all know Floyd wants to make the fight May 5th. That's the time that he fights, right? Now, of course, that was damn near 2 years ago, and we still don't have an arena that Bob Arum claimed that he was building. Now, if you ever wanted a clear definition of what is considered ducking, there you have it right there. That is what you call ducking. That is the art of ducking, all right? And this situation right here is very similar because they know that Floyd Mayweather can possibly retire in 2015. So why would you extend a contract all the way to 2016, knowing that you lose any chances of fighting Floyd Mayweather? You know, guys, when you really look at all of the stuff that's taken place with these fighters negotiating, who would you say reached out the most to make the fight? Who would you say, really reached out to try to make this fight? I mean, forget the double standards and the hypocrisy that exists in the sport of boxing. Let's speak the truth for a second. Who reached out the most? Of course it was Floyd Mayweather. Remember, guys, in the first negotiations damn near 4 years ago, both fighters had demands. Manny Pacquiao had demands, Floyd Mayweather had demands. Floyd Mayweather, he was the only one who signed the contract, and he accepted Manny Pacquiao's demands. Manny Pacquiao was the only person who didn't sign the contract, and he did not accept Floyd Mayweather's demands of taking random style drug testing. Then after he gets knocked out by Marquez 4 years later, now he's demanding that Marquez takes the same test that Floyd Mayweather asked him to take. So who looks like the hypocrite? Who looks like they're contradicting themselves? And most importantly, once again, who reached out the most to try to make that first fight? We know everything that I'm saying is fact, okay? It is 100% the truth. We know this because not only am I saying it, but even Manny Pacquiao's own trainer and coach is saying it, Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach already admitted it was their fault they didn't take the first fight, okay? You can say whatever you want to say about Alex Ariza, but Alex Ariza, he admits it was Manny Pacquiao's fault they didn't take the second fight, the $40 million, okay? And if you listen to what he says, it makes sense, like it always does. Think about it for a second. Who called who? It was Floyd Mayweather who called up Manny Pacquiao. It wasn't Manny Pacquiao that called out Floyd. It was Floyd that called Pacquiao on his own personal cell phone. Once again, the guy who's reaching out and trying to make this fight come to fruition, right? When Floyd Mayweather was about to go to jail, it was Floyd Mayweather who was reaching out, let's make this fight. Let's make it right now. We gonna work out whatever we gotta work out. Let's just make this fight because I gotta go to jail June 1st, so let's go ahead and just make it official right now. All of a sudden, Manny Pacquiao, Team Pacquiao, Bob Arum, we're not ready right now. We're not ready right now. We're going to go ahead and take a fourth fight with Marquez. Okay? And now, this is the reason why everyone says they are putting the final nail in the coffin right now by Manny Pacquiao extending this contract. I mean, I'm telling you, man, hypocrisy is a bitch. Hypocrisy is a bitch in the sport of boxing. This is the reason why I'm so hard on Manny Pacquiao when I make videos about him. Because a lot of people don't understand this, but when I make these videos about Pacquiao, I'm mainly talking to the ignorant ass fans. Because they are the ones that see all of this proof that I just laid out for you guys right now, and they will still sit here and say the complete opposite and say the dumbest shit to try to defend Manny Pacquiao. And that makes Manny Pacquiao look bad. So that's why I get on video and I expose all of the ignorance that these ignorant fans, spew out on these, online, on YouTube, or wherever it is. But I have studied the psychology of ignorance, and I understand that even when these ignorant fans say this, they don't truly believe it. And I know this for a fact because I've talked to a lot of these fans, in person, and I broke them down to where they completely admitted that it didn't make sense what they were saying, to where eventually they started to agree with me. I'm talking about hardcore Manny Pacquiao Filipino fans that I've broke down to a T. Because if it doesn't make sense, there's no way you can continue to be consistent with your story. Eventually, you're going to keep running into contradictions. And this is what Pacquiao, Team Pacquiao, and Top Rank have been doing since day one, and that is contradicting themselves. Manny Pacquiao says, I can't take an Olympic-style random drug test because I'm afraid of needles, right? Then all of a sudden he gets knocked out by Marquez. He's asking Marquez to take the same test. Manny Pacquiao, he criticizes Tim Bradley, saying, Bradley is nothing but a runner. All he's going to do is run in the ring. All of a sudden, Pacquiao gets in the ring with fighters like Margarito, Brandon Rios, and he runs in the ring. And then he's forced to admit that he does the same thing that he was trying to discredit Tim Bradley for doing, right? I mean, I'm just naming a few contradictions. I could do this all day, but you guys pretty much understand the point that I'm making. It's contradiction after contradiction. And in terms of the fans posting messages and the perception of how people looked at this whole ordeal, it's just one big-ass double standard is what it really comes down to. So now it is unanimous. We know whose fault it is. This fight never took place, all right? And the bad news for Manny Pacquiao is he still needs this fight more than Floyd Mayweather needs to fight. Why? For many different reasons. For one, it's because everyone considers Floyd Mayweather pound for pound the best fighter in the world. Everyone considers Floyd Mayweather the best fighter of this era. Like I said, once again, regardless if you hate Floyd Mayweather or you love Floyd Mayweather, everyone is comparing Floyd Mayweather to the greatest. Even if you want to sit here and say ridiculous shit like, oh, you can't compare him to Ali or this guy or that guy. It's just the fact that you are comparing him, period. You're not comparing Manny Pacquiao to the greats, right? That tells you something right there. Not only that, but who has a better chance of losing and getting knocked out in the next 2 years? Manny Pacquiao does, right? I mean, think about it, fans. I think even Manny Pacquiao fans will agree with me on this right now. Manny Pacquiao, doesn't he have a chance of beating Floyd Mayweather? Wouldn't it make more sense that if Manny Pacquiao is going to take a chance to get knocked out by Marquez in a fifth fight or get knocked out by whoever else in the future, wouldn't it make more sense for Manny Pacquiao to go out of his way and fight Floyd Mayweather, because if you beat Floyd Mayweather, you change the course of history in terms of the sport of boxing. Doesn't that make sense? It makes all the sense in the world. But Pacquiao's going to ignore that advice, and he's going to stay with Top Rank and keep fighting the same fighters over and over, which ain't going to do nothing for his legacy, fighting the same fighter over and over. You got to fight new challenges. We already know that Top Rank, they have no fighters for Manny Pacquiao to fight. Outside of the fighters that Manny's already fought, there's no one else for him to fight. I mean, who you got? You got Jesse Vargas, and that's pretty much it. There's no one else. Manny Pacquiao, if he really cared about his legacy, if Manny Pacquiao really wanted to be the best, he would have signed with Golden Boy. Or if he didn't sign with Golden Boy, he would have, like I said, stepped to the side and he would have took the fight with Floyd Mayweather, right? Now think about it. This is what Manny Pacquiao fans, the real ignorant ones, this is what they're going to say. They're going to say, well, there was no guarantee that if Manny Pacquiao would have left Top Rank, he would have got that fight with Floyd Mayweather, because maybe Floyd would have came up with this or that, whatever. But what you don't understand is Manny Pacquiao was still in a position where he had nothing to lose. All Manny Pacquiao had to do is not sign the contract, call up Floyd, call up Al Haymon, call up whoever Floyd Mayweather deals with and says, so what you guys talking about? Let's talk about some numbers. Let's negotiate. I want to make this fight. And if Floyd Mayweather were to bullshit, which we know wouldn't happen because he's already signed the contract before, when Manny Pacquiao was at his most dangerous 4 years ago. All right? So, but what I'm saying is, hypothetically, at a worst case scenario, even if Mayweather didn't take the fight, Manny Pacquiao could easily go right back to Bob Arum and re-sign, do a new deal with Top Rank. We already know this. So Manny Pacquiao had nothing to lose. This suggests to me that Manny Pacquiao is not in a hurry to fight against Floyd Mayweather. Matter of fact, I know he's not in a hurry because Manny Pacquiao, he did an interview a couple weeks back where he actually said now is not the time to fight against Floyd Mayweather. It's just not right now. This is actually what Manny Pacquiao said in an article. Okay, somebody had sent me the link a while ago. I think it was a Filipino article he did, or interview I should say he did. But this is exactly what he said that came out of his own mouth. All right. Now, what's so funny about him saying this is, the truth always comes out, and I always tell you guys this. Freddie Roach, lately and recently, he's been telling the truth a lot. If you go back and you watch the video that I did at the roundtable press conference for the Bradley versus Pacquiao 2 fight, I interviewed Freddie Roach, and Freddie Roach, he made a couple of admissions. Okay, the first admission he made was it was their fault the first fight didn't take place, something we knew already. Even the ignorant people knew, but they just never wanted to admit it. So first, Freddie Roach, he admits that. Then later on, as he continues to talk, then he says, I think that Bob Arum, he always wanted this fight to be Manny Pacquiao's last fight. And now when you think about it, it makes all the sense in the world. This came from Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach said this, okay? And then, once again, we hear Manny Pacquiao say, well, the fight is not ripe enough right now. And then guess what Bob Arum just said a couple days ago? Bob Arum just said, I still believe it's a 90% chance that the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight can happen. It could happen at the end of Mayweather's contract, because then Floyd Mayweather would have an opportunity to make way more money for the fight because he'll be negotiating a new contract that would include the Manny Pacquiao fight if he were to, renegotiate with Showtime. Now, keep in mind, this is what Bob Arum is saying. I mean, he just confirmed exactly what Freddie Roach said, which is Bob Arum, he wants this to be Manny Pacquiao's very last fight. And why does Bob want it to be Manny Pacquiao's last fight? Because Bob knows boxing enough to know that Floyd Mayweather would most likely beat Manny Pacquiao. And if Manny Pacquiao were to lose right now, he wouldn't be worth anything afterwards. We've seen how his numbers went down after he got knocked out by Marquez, right? So if he got knocked out by Floyd Mayweather, he'd be thrown under the bus and used up. That's all I got on this one, guys. I'm on to the next one.